We ready, y'all. Okay. Tonight, y'all, we got Miss Rebecca Washington. We got one of the best barbers. And I'm not going to even say female barbers because females have taken over. They are
And
the best. I have
yeah,
to give it to them. They done took it from us. She's an instructor, also a school owner. I'm not going to take up a lot of time because I want her to share her story. And that's what we do every Wednesday. So without further ado, we got Miss Rebecca Washington. So I want you to introduce yourself, and then we're gonna start from your childhood and go all the way up to right now. So let's go.
so how you doing, Tim?
I'm doing great, living the dream, bro.
Good, good. Okay, well, my name is Rebecca Washington. Most people know me as Ro. I'm on Instagram as the underscore executive barber. The school page is Washington Academy of Barbering Arts on Instagram. And we are also, our website is Washington Academy of Barbering Arts.com. So Chin asked me to come on here tonight and, pretty much let it out. So I'm just gonna tell you whatever I got that I feel like you want to know, I'm gonna share it with you. I'm an open book, so if you ever feel like you have any questions, shoot them at me. So I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I come from a split household. My mother lived in one household. My father lived in the other. My dad has two kids, two daughters, and my mom has a daughter and a son. Of course, me, I'm in the middle of my father and my mother. Um, I graduated in '96. That makes me about 46 years old. Um, I
What was high school like?
high school.
Yeah,
Well,
and growing up in New Orleans.
well, high school was great for me. It was real fun. I was I was a spoiled kid, I will say. Um, and I had some teachers that spoiled me as well. I played basketball, so I was just in the sport world. Played basketball. I I'm not gonna say I ran track, but I did tracking. I mean, what am I trying to say? I can't get it out. I did field events. They chose me for field events because I was tall. I played softball and I was in the band. However, everything that I just said, I was top notch. I was the leader, and I am an Aries. For those of you who are Aries online, Aries are natural born leaders, and I was in the band. I was the drum major. In basketball, I was the captain of the team, and softball as well. I was the captain. So I was always a leader in whatever I did. I love being a leader. I never wanted to be a follower. I'm a person that does not like to fit in. I like to be natural and neutral on my own. Um, just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that want to do what you do. I'm the kind of person, I'm a fashionist. Like when I dress, I don't want to wear the same shoes everybody else. Everybody wearing the Alexander McQueen's, I want to wear something different. So I'm just like that. I've always been that way. I will forever be that way. And I was always one who wanted to be the best at whatever I did. I didn't just do it just to be in it or just to be involved. I wanted to be the best at it. I'm a competitor, always was and always will. High school was real fun. It was pretty much where I got an opportunity to be myself. But I also got in trouble in high school. And that kind of led me down a road that I didn't want to go in, but it was a part of my life that's ever changing. It had an ever changing effect on me. Went to school. I pretty much came out the closet to my parents. They didn't like it. Still today, I still deal with that. But again, I'm me. I'm different. I don't care when nobody thinks about me. I never will. Never did. It doesn't matter. You can be in here right now and look at me and don't like me. Well, get out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna stop being who I am for nobody. And my parents, they didn't like my lifestyle. Uh, Kind of got in trouble with my dad because he was struggling with it, not wanting, I guess he felt embarrassed. But hey, honestly, y'all, I didn't care. I didn't care then, and I still don't care today. I got in trouble. Come from a background where my parents were older. So my parents are 72 now, mom and dad. And my father was raised in the country. So I come from like a country background, Clinton, Louisiana, you know, over there by Baton Rouge and Zachary and Baker, you know, up in that area. So coming from that type of background, you know, they didn't believe in being lesbian, really gay, or anything. So to a certain extent, it was like I got in trouble at school. He told me I couldn't play basketball no more. And I was like, I can't play basketball. Like, well, I'm going to stay with my mom. He said, you ain't going to stay with your mom, you know? And that led to other things. And I actually got in a fight with my dad. And I can't really say he put me out. I called the police. And they pretty much told me, hey, at this age that you are at now, you have the ability to go where you want to go. I chose to go by a friend, family friend. I did that, and probably could have been one of the worst mistakes in my life that I ever made, because I had to go back to my dad. Went over there, wound up staying with them, and like the very first night that I moved over there, the son of the friend that I went to school with, she went to school with me, but she was my cousin's best friend. So I went to stay with them. Her brother had just got out of jail. I'm talking, he was like 19, 20 years old. He had spent his whole juvenile lifetime in jail. He had just got home. At the time, I was driving. I had my own car. We're talking, what, 16, 17 years old. I had my own car. I had my own car since I was in the 9th grade. So I went over there, and he had just got out of jail. I went to sleep. He stole my car overnight. He went, robbed somebody the night before. Didn't know how to drive, wrecked my car. When I got in it the next morning, he was smart. He parked the car on the side that he actually wrecked. He parked that on the street side. So when I got in the car, I couldn't see the wreck. I got in the car, went by my daddy the next day like nothing happened, you know, and went to talk to him. And he said, what happened to your car? What you mean, what happened to my car? He said, that. So when I looked at it, I was like, I don't know. So I got back to the house that night. The brother told me he had wrecked my car and that he would give me something in turn. I was like, okay, well, what you gonna give me? He's like, I don't know. I got you because you know I just got out of jail, so I don't really have no job. I don't have nothing to really give. Okay, well, I'm waiting on you to give me something. Well, he asked me that same day, well, look, why don't you take me to Taco Bell so I could give me something to eat? I did that. What I did that for, that was the life change for me. Took him to Taco Bell. And the way Taco Bell was made at the time, this was back in like 94, 95. And the way Taco Bell was set up, the back of Taco Bell was the drive-thru. And then you had to drive to on the side of the Taco Bell to actually come to the drive-thru. So when we got to the back, he was getting ready to order at the drive-thru. And he was like, I got something to tell you. I was like, what? He said, I'm about to rob this joint. I looked at him. I said, well, if you're about to rob these people, you're going to get up out of my car. He said, all right, no problem. But he had a gun under his seat. So he had already set all of this up for me to do this, right? And he did just what he said he was going to do. He walked. I pulled out of the parking lot because I'm like, you're going to get out of my car. You're going to rob this place, you're going to get out of my car. He did that. He robbed the girl through the drive-thru. Okay, there was a car she was in a car. And by all means, she was Caucasian, but her boyfriend was African American. He went to the drive-thru, between the drive-thru and the driver's window. He told him, I want all the money. And she looked at him like he was crazy. Like, I've never been robbed through no drive-thru. I'm not about to give you nothing. And he told her, you're going to give me what I'm asking you for, or I'm going to shoot you. He shot her in the face. Being that he got out of my car, I was charged with accessory after the fact of armed robbery. And that like devastated me because now I got to go back to my daddy, the house that I left from, the house that I wanted to be grown at. And felt like he couldn't tell me what I could do and couldn't do. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to go back home because I had to go to court. And that was the person that took me back and forth to court, paid all the fees and everything. But I will tell you this, being that he was the type of father that he was, he left me in jail for 2 weeks. That was the worst 2 weeks of my life. I learned so much in 2 weeks of what not to do and how I can say that trouble is truly easy to get into and hard to get out of. Because I had dealt with so many months of anxiety and crying and losing hair. I mean, I'm in high school. I'm going through this because I was facing 5 to 99 years in jail at the age of 17. Okay. So if it wasn't for the father that had the money that he had to get me out of the trouble that I got into, I probably wouldn't be here today because I was dealing with father money. And because it was my first offense, that helped me. But it took a toll on my life. And that's kind of what inspired me to become a barber, because my dad, I come from a wealthy family. And so my dad owned a tow truck company, just about as old as I am. And in him having his company, I worked for him. I drove tow trucks. I did things like that. But that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to find something that I wanted to do, not something that I felt like I had to be put in because it was a family business. And I used to do hair, but in doing hair, like honestly, messing with women, for me, women are messy. Men are too, but it was just like, that's too much mess for me. I'm not a messy female, you know what I'm saying? I'm too into having fun and laughing. Yeah, I'm like that. So I don't want to be into the mess. So that kind of like pulled me out of there. And then my brother-in-law at the time, he was like, man, you should cut hair. And I'm like, cut hair, man, ain't what I want to do. He said, but you in the beauty industry, you're doing hair. So maybe try cutting hair. That might be something you want to do. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try that because I don't want to drive tow trucks for the rest of my life. I don't want to be a part of this family business. Even though I want to be a part of the family business, it wasn't what I wanted to do, you know? So I felt like, okay, I'm gonna go to the school. He told me to go to the school. At the time, I went to Stylist Academy. I went there and he said, look, when you go there, tell them you don't have no job. You don't have no job. You need financial aid. Okay, I did that. And I got accepted. I got approved. And the rest is up from there. You know, I just realized that my life was written before I knew it was, because some of the things that I'm doing now, I never imagined. I can't sit here and tell you I wanted to be a barber school owner back then until I actually got into the industry. And then I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
Now, at Stevens, when you joined, what year was that, bro?
I went to Stevenson in 96. So I went to Delgado. And it's funny because I went to Delgado, never thinking that I would ever become an instructor at the same college that I went to. That was a great gift for me too. But I kind of owe a lot of what I'm doing to Stevenson with the help of the Lord up above, who really had my life written before I knew it. Stevenson was a place that kind of instilled that in me. They kind of did me what you doing me right now. It was like, look, we want you to come back and talk about your success. Talk about it. Give a successful story about yourself. We want you to do this. We want you to talk for 4 hours. I'm like, 4 hours. All right, I'm gonna make it work. I started jotting down everything I wanted to talk about. And then at the end of my 4 hours, they came to me, they pulled me in the side. It's like, you ever wanted to be an instructor? I was like, no. They said, well, we think you'd be great as an instructor. And that's how my instructor career started. Here I am. After becoming an instructor, I'm a school owner now. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, my life really was written before I even knew what it is I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a barber, but I was okay with just being a barber. You know what I'm saying? But now that I've embarked on this road of being a school owner. It's a great feeling. It's a feeling to be able to, it's a great feeling to be able to be in a room full of people and you tell them, I'm a school owner. You know what I'm saying? That's a great feeling because how many school owners do you actually know? I mean, you, Chin, you know a plethora of people who own schools, and your program helps a lot for that. But I mean, literally, before now, before you even started this program, how many times you could be in a room with a person and say they own a school? You could be in a room with 100 people and you be the only one in there that owns a school. That's a great feeling. And that's what I mean when I say I'm an Aries. I'm a leader. I want to be different. I want to be the one that stands out in the room. I'm the one who go to the party and everybody have on black and I got on white. Or everybody in the party with white and I got on red. You know what I'm saying? I'm that person. I bring that level of energy to the room. Not even trying, just bring it.
So when you graduated from school, Stevenson, what did you do?
I became a barber and I pretty much started in the barbering industry. And I went to a barber shop.
What was
And
that like?
so like, okay, I worked in 2 barber shops before I owned my own. And I've been on my own since. So I'll say when I first got my barber's license, of course you get your barber's license trying to find yourself in the industry. I went to a barber shop that was a slash tattoo shop, right? They were selling drugs in there. I ain't like it. Like the first week, I might have paid boot rent and that was it. I had to get out of there. I went to another place that was next to a strip club. Oh my God. That was one of the worst things. You're leaving out the barber shop, you're seeing all kind of stuff that's happening on the side of the building from this strip club. I couldn't do that. So finally I found a place that I was comfortable with. Later on became the owner of. I went there and I pretty much worked there for the rest of my barbering career up until Katrina hit. When Katrina hit, it was real devastating because we were really displaced. The greatest thing about it is I took all my clippers with me. It was funny because my nieces and nephews, they was like, well, T, like, when the storm come, what is it gonna do? And I'm like, oh, I'm exaggerating because these are kids at the time. You know, I'm like, the water's gonna be way over the roof. And they looking at me like, how is that possible? It was possible. Like when I came back to see that actually your house is underneath water, like that was mind blowing. I mean, it was mental. Yeah, it was some mental issues that we all from New Orleans had to deal with. And that was one of the hardest ones, you know, to have to pick up and leave and find somewhere to go after the barbershop that I was in. I was in for probably about 10 years. So after having my own barbershop, moving to Dallas for like 2 years, I opened my first barbershop, which was part ownership with the barbershop that I was working in before Katrina, pre-Katrina. And the guy and I, we pretty much started the new shop in Dallas, and I became the owner. He was a silent partner. He didn't want his name on any of the paperwork. I pretty much kept everything up. And then I kind of like went through a struggle with him because one thing I can say for anybody on here listening, if you go in business with somebody, make sure that's something that you really want to do. Make sure they pay their bills. Make sure they do their part. Make sure they do what they're supposed to do. Because when you go into business with somebody, you might be thinking, hey, I'm gonna pay these bills, when they thinking, hey, we making money, I'm gonna spend the money. You know, and don't go like that. You know, when you even having a barbershop, you don't really make money like talking about it unless you are really making money. And by that I mean, if you have all your boots filled, you don't have all your boots filled, you're not making no money, baby. You're just paying your bills. And I know some of you could probably contest to that because if you worked in a barbershop or own your barbershop, I would say if you own your own barbershop, you kind of know that unless you have a lot of people working. You have a lot of people working there that you're not really making money. You're just making ends meet. And we kind of like had it out. You know, he did some off the wall things that I rather not go into. And it just made me feel like, you know what, this is not for me. I can't have a barbershop with a person that does not know how to separate personal and business. So then, fast forward, I moved back to New Orleans, and then I opened up a barbershop with my then partner at the time, relationship partner wise. And we opened up a barbershop / beauty salon called Roger's. And Roger's was the hit. I tell you, we came back to New Orleans. My shop was filled in probably 2 weeks of being open. We had 11 chair shop, wide open shop, 6 stylists, 5 barbers. And it was at that point I learned that having a barber shop with women and men in it is something that's real hard to do, because women talking about one thing, men talking about another thing. You a man, you know what men talk about. I'm always around men, so I know what men talk about. I talk about the same thing men talk about. I'm okay with that. But some women don't like that, you know. And then you have those clients who have alopecia. They don't want to be seen. They don't want guys to see them. You have some women who feel like they're not pretty right now. Their hair is not done. Their makeup is not done. So they don't want to get their hair done in the same place where you have these handsome men or whatever you call it. You have these men in here and they're like, no, I don't want him to see this. So my partner and I at the time, we opened up a second location. So we was at 7062 and 7060. We was right next to each other. So we put the barbers on one side, barbers, the stylist on the other side. However, I still own the barbershop in Dallas. That was a lot for me, owning 3 barbershops or whatever you want to call it, barber and beauty salons at one time. The hardest thing to deal with when you have that many shops is personalities. You have different people who want to be bothered today, don't want to be bothered tomorrow. You have those people that's going through something today, going through something. You know, it's a lot that you go through. Then you have to look at the issue that I'm in a male-dominated industry. And there guys feel some type of way, kind of like with the election, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, guys felt like, hey, you know, these are 2 women that own this barbershop. We could tell them what we want them to do. Not me. I'm very structured. Always have been, always will be. So you can't just come to me and tell me, yeah, I think you should do this. Because guess what? You can tell me what you think I should do. Just like who said it best? Jay-Z said it best. People tell you how to do it, but they never did it. So you're not going to tell me how to run a shop and you don't even have me. Hell, you barely even have a car. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to listen to a person like that that doesn't have more than I have. And it's not that I'm judging him or her. It's just that I'm a type of person, I want to listen to those who I see successful in doing bigger and better things than me. And when I say that, success is measured in different ways for different people. Some people feel like they bought this car that they never had. You know what I'm saying? Well, for me, I bought several cars and I'm top-notch car right now. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to listen to you because you have a nice car. I'm going to listen to you because you own a business and it's successful and you've been in business 10, 15 years, to somebody like that. But somebody who don't have nothing, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to pay attention to you. I mean, I'm not trying to say that you can't learn from everybody, because you can learn something from any and everybody. You can learn something from the homeless man on the street. I never negate the fact that you can't learn from people, but there's certain things you can learn from people, and that's teach me if you've never done it. You know what I'm saying? So they felt like they could double team me and her because we were women, until they realized they couldn't, because we were 2 very strong women together doing what we had to do to make it work. And unfortunately, at some point in life, the BP oil spill, you heard about that? Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. The BP oil spill hit, and it touched different souls in different ways. We had a lot of people who were in the hospitality industry losing their jobs. So they started doing their hair at home. They started cutting their hair at home, trying to cut their hair. And so business got slow for us. So we wound up having to close that second location. We had that location for maybe 2 years. And then when the BP oil spill hit, we closed that location, and then we went back into the one location, but I still had the barber shop in Texas. And at that time, me and the partner that I had at the time out there, him and I decided to part our ways for our differences. There was major differences. And then something happened that kind of like really showed me how envious people can get. I was at work one day. I went to the restroom. I came back. I had just bought a brand new Avalanche. I think it was a 2008 Chevy Avalanche, brand new. That was like my dream car at the time. I had bought that truck, and next thing you know, somebody came and told me, they said, somebody truck out here? Somebody just shot it up. Shot it up? The hell? I go outside, I got bullet holes across my truck. And I'm like, damn, I knew who did it. And it was just like, wow, I never thought that a person could be that envious of you because you're doing better than them. And I still stand firm on that to this day. As a female in this barber industry, male-dominated industry, I still deal with the enviousness of males. But I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. Because in life, you're going to go through your ups and downs. You're going to have those that's going to envy you, whether they're male, female, cat, dog, I don't care who they are. You know, you're going to have that. Because people want what you want, but they don't want to do what you have to do to get there. And in this industry of being a school owner, man, it's hard. I mean, especially starting out with a school, a barber school. For anybody that has a barber school, I want you to know we have all been in the same spot. We probably still in the same spot. I'm just in the spot where I'm just getting over candidate status. And they came out to the school for Halloween Day. They had me on my P's and Q's, you know, and it's funny because I work for NACIS. I am getting accredited with NACIS, but I am an ICPE evaluator for NACIS. But they still have me scared as hell, you know what I'm saying? But I'm getting through it, and I want you all to know that we all gonna go through some things. Sometimes I feel like the program almost built for you to fail because it's so much that you have to go through, and you have to stand firm on yourself, and you have to sacrifice a lot. But hey, to be successful, you have to sacrifice, period. Like they always say, sacrifice comes before success, even in the dictionary. So you have to do what you have to do to get there.
Now, when your truck, so your Avalanche got shot up,
Mm-hmm.
what happened after that? Or what did you do?
I took it I had insurance on it, so I took it to the dealership, and they repainted it, did whatever they had to do. But it put something on my mind, you know, to let me know that like this is just a stepping stone for you. You could just step over it like nothing even happened, because you're gonna get through this. And I did, you know, and that's the past now. You know what I'm saying? Again, I know who did it. It's crazy. I know who did it. Like, that's what's so crazy about it. Like, you was that envious of me to do something like that. But it was a brand new truck. When I say brand new, I ordered it. Like, and it came from Mississippi. I'm in Louisiana, so it had to come from Mississippi. They had 200 miles on it when they gave it to me. So, I mean, that was the beginning of me now.
So what next? What did you do after that? You still the shop or own the shop?
So I own the shop. Me and my partner, the female who I had the barbershop in New Orleans with, we pretty much part ways in 2000. Before we part ways, I actually decided to move from that location. She had already moved in another location because she had just popped out with a whole new shop. She decided she wanted to have a whole new shop and she wanted to be on her own. And I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, so she decided she wanted to venture out on her own. We were still in a relationship, but this was something she just did on her own, and I only found out like later on. You know, like, okay, this is what we're doing. We opening shops. Okay, so what I did was I stayed where I was. I started to work at Walmart overnight because times got real hard. Like I said, around the BP field time. And I had to find a way to supplement my income. One thing about me, Chin, I ain't lazy. You know that. You done seen
Yeah,
me
I
paint
know.
for a wall. I ain't lazy at all. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get where I'm trying to go. And in spite the fact that I come from a wealthy family, I'm not the person that feel like I'm gonna wait for handouts. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm gonna get what I gotta get. You know what I'm saying, on my own. So I went and worked at Walmart, and then I got a phone call from a school called Moore Career College in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I just found out they closed it. Caucasian guy owned the place. He called me and asked me if I wanted to come work. So I would have to travel an hour from New Orleans to get out there to work. And at the time, I was looking for a job during the time that the BP oil spill had first hit. It's hard to find another gig in the same industry. So that's how I wound up at Walmart. And he called me after a while, asked me about working, and I'm like, I could finally use my barber instructor's license because I had had it, but I had never had a job in it. So I said, you know what? If it takes me an hour to travel to this school to get me a job, and at the time he was paying $25 an hour, but he was also paying for my gas. So I was like, you can't beat that. And it gives him the opportunity to become an instructor. I was nervous as hell. This was my first gig, but I'm like, I'm going with it. I went out there, them students fell in love with me. I worked part-time. So I worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They was open for Monday to Friday. I worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday, stayed in the barbershop Tuesday, Thursday. And then of course Saturday I was in the barbershop. So I worked there, enjoyed it, you know, and then there was a storm that hit in Baton Rouge. I can't remember the name of the storm that hit, but the storm hit in Baton Rouge and it messed Baton Rouge up. So the teacher that was teaching there, he could no longer teach that because he lost his home. And so he asked me to work full time. So I said, okay, I'll work full time. So now I'm working $25 an hour. I'm working full time in terms of hours of the week instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm still working Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm working all day Monday from 8 in the morning to 10 at night. I'm working Wednesday. I'm working Tuesday. Tuesdays was slow in the barbershop, so I really pretty much closed my barbershop to go and work out there. Because now that I moved in 2015 and I moved in a smaller shop. The building I'm in now, it was a 1,500 square foot area barbershop that I had. I had 6 chairs. I had 3 barbers, me and 2. And me and 2 other barbers. And I always gave the barbers the benefit of a doubt. I gave them the key. Hey, you come in when you want, you leave when you want. You're self-employed. I'm not gonna tell you, I'm not one of those barbers that felt like a barbershop owners who felt like you can't work when you want. You self-employed. I don't believe in it. Give them a key. They all got a code. When they walk in there, they cut the lights on. I know who opened the doors because they had to open the door based upon that code on the alarm system. So that never bothered me. And as long as I owned the shop, it was always there. From the one that I had in Texas to the 2 that I had here, everybody always had their own key. I trusted them like that. Until you give me a reason not to trust you, then I will trust you until then. So they would go to work, you know, and I would leave and come back and leave and come back. I did that for 3 consecutive years. And as I'm doing it, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? I want to open my own shop. I mean, my own school. I don't want to work for the boss. I want to be the boss. So I started working on how I was going to figure this out. And then boom, one day I see this guy named Chin, called him Millionaire Barber. And he got this program. And back then, Chin, when I bought that program was, I think, $5,000. No, I'm sorry, $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah,
It used
in
to be
fact, it wasn't
free
even
before
it
that.
was $9.99. $999 when I bought it. I was like, you know what? Let me try this program. Let me see how it works. And I kid you not, Chin, you're the truth. We came up with a program that really helps us all. You got to put some time into it if it's something that you really want to do. And it was something that I really wanted to do. So it took me time, you know, to read and go through things. Because I tell you, I swear to a certain degree, I was reading gibberish because I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything until I started reading, and it still was kind of like I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm reading. You know, like so. The school I went to was Stevenson Academy. Bless their heart, because they are in my DNA with me opening up the school. Jenny Williams. She was my instructor. I couldn't stand her at one time. It's funny. Because when I was going to the school, her and I the same age. I mean, literally the same age. I'm March 21st, she's March 31st. We both 78. So that's how close we are. I couldn't stand her. She was an Aries though. So now we like the best of friends. She helped me through the journey. She told me, hey, look, NACS has a class I want you to go to. If you're really serious about opening your own school, you need to take this class. I took this class for NACS in 99. No, I'm sorry, like 2005, 2006. That's how long ago it was. When you came up with your program, when you started at 999, Chin?
Well, Miss Bella, I took it over. We partnered, that was probably 2000, I think.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so you was 2000, yeah, and you was just getting it out there. It was probably like 2005, 2006 for me when I first, maybe 2003 when I first got the program.
Mm-hmm.
But 2006 when I like really started taking it more serious. I used to always read it, but it was like, oh man, it's so much. Because I was a person that hated reading, I tell you. But now I've learned to overcome that. But yeah, she told me to go take this class with her, go take this NACS course. This NACS course, 3 days. I had to go on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it was 8 hours. And I'm like, Jesus, these people put 8 hours of work into my head. And then I got to go back tomorrow for another 8 hours and then another day. Oh my God, it was so much. It was too much that it kind of discouraged me, but it's not, again, I'm not a person, I'm with it. If I set my mind to do something, I'm gonna do it. I might cry behind closed doors. I might go through all the pains that I go through, but I'm still gonna do it. Or I'm gonna do whatever I can do to get there. And so I went there with her. We sat and we talked about it, and I was like, "This is a lot." And she was like, "It is." And her and I sat at the table talking about SAP. At the time, I'm like, "What the hell is SAP?" Now I know what SAP is. You know, even reading your program, I'm like, I heard about it. I knew the acronyms was for SAP, but it's like, what really is it, and how do you do it? And so over time, I kid you not, since then, I have been going to NACS classes since then. And now that I'm an ICPE evaluator, I still have to take those classes. And it's amazing because it's like, how you take the classes for NACS and you take the same class for your school, which has taught me so much. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for your program. I will say this, your program is a blueprint for the beginning of people that wants to get involved with it. You still have to do your part with NACS to learn more because you give us enough, but NACS is going to give you that, like, they're going to dissect everything that you have to make you understand with NACS what you have, if that makes sense. You give me the blueprint. And if I don't know anything about what I'm doing, it's just like not knowing. But when you go to the NACS classes, it's like, oh, that's what Chin was saying, and that's how it is. So you have to go to those courses to understand and put it together. You know, just like how we learn. Some people learn with hands-on learning, and some people can learn just by reading. I'm not that kind of learner. I need to put hands on it and read it. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I got to read over and over again to even comprehend what I'm reading. So after so long of doing that, I'm at a point in my life now that I feel like I'm not where I want to be, but I'm halfway there.
Now, so you were working at the school in Baton Rouge, is that right?
Yes.
And then what did you do after that?
After working in Baton Rouge, I then decided I was going to retire from working in Baton Rouge and focus on Washington Academy of Barbering. I left the school for a year, and then I got a call from Delgado.
Now tell them what Delgado is, because they don't know.
Delgado Community College. That's the college I went to. I played basketball for, and I went to. The only reason why I stopped going to school at Delgado was because I'm a firm believer in no summer school. I never went to summer school a day in my life. And I failed a class in college, my first year in college, and they told me I couldn't play basketball unless I went to summer school. And I'm like, I ain't never went to summer school in my life. I'm not gonna start. So I quit. I quit school, and I said, well, maybe school is not for me. I'm gonna have to find another way. Well, I began teaching at Delgado, and that was amazing for me because it's like, dang, this is the school I went to. That's like going to Harvard and teaching there. You know what I'm saying? That's a great feeling. So they called me over. They was like, listen, we heard you're a great instructor. We want you to come over here. And I'm like, I'm not coming over there. I'm about to start working on my own school. It was actually one of my friends who used to work at Stevens. She's actually younger than I am. She was teaching at Stevenson, and she was at Delgado now. And she called me. She said, look, we want you over here. And I'm like, I'm not coming over there. I'm about to start working on my own school. I'm not trying to come where y'all at. And then she said, well, what if I tell you the pay is good? I said, well, what's the pay? And she told me what the pay was. And I was like, girl, for real? Oh, wait, hold up, sign me up. And so I worked at Delgado for 2.5 to 3 years. And then COVID hit. March 13th, I'll never forget it. That was the last day before, that was the day before they shut the world down. And it was like, hey, we're not going to be going to school tomorrow. I said, well, look, I want to let y'all know today my last day. They say, roll, today, everybody last day. I said, no, today my last day. When this semester is up, I'm not coming back. And it was like, no, you got to come back. You're a great instructor. I said, yeah, I'm going to be a great instructor at my own school. Here I am. I left Delgado. I kid you not. It was hard because the money was good. I can share it with y'all. This isn't no help. Delgado was paying me $47.50 an hour. Okay, and I was working part-time. I was making $1,500 part-time every 2 weeks. So you making $3,000 a month part-time. You understand what I'm saying? Plus, I still was working in a barbershop making good money. So it was like, yeah, I kid you not, together between Delgado and me working in the barbershop, I was making $10,000 a month by myself. No kids, no relationship, just working. And I enjoyed it. But it got a little lonely, you know? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to focus on me. And that was one of the hardest things to do, to let for show money go. Money that was real good money. You know, I know for a fact it was good money. Then, like I said, COVID hit. And by the grace of God, I'm actually grateful that I worked at Delgado, because that's what got me to be able to get the unemployment that I was getting from the state, because I actually had a job that took out taxes. Because if you didn't have a job that took out taxes, I was still filing taxes, but it was nowhere near what Delgado was taking out of my check. And that's what allowed me to be able to receive unemployment, that $600 a week, remember? For those who were still working, they was pissed off because they working, making their money. And my fiance now was one of those people. She used to always say, you know, like, damn, I wish I didn't have to go to work. I was making $800 a week sitting at home. Okay. That's why the world got messed up, because everybody got lazy. And I'm like, shoot, $800 a week doing nothing. I loved it, you know, but I will say that was a gift and a curse for me, because that's when I was able to start doing Washington Academy of Barbering Arts together. I still had the barbershop that I had. In those 2 years, I was preparing the school, and it was really a good feeling for me, because y'all, I'm making $800 a week. I have my money set on the side for Washington Academy. I'll give you the truth. I started with $96,000 to open my school. And I feel like at that 96, and that wasn't no PPP, okay? All right. That wasn't no PPP, that was me. So I had that money and I was just issuing it. Okay, if I have to paint this wall, if I have to get this chair, if I have to do this, if I have to do that, I just had $96,000 sitting in my bank account to be able to open the school. Still receiving $800 a week. That was like the best time of my life. If you have ever, I'm gonna say this, that was the best time of my life that I felt like I had no bills. They was all paid. They was all paid on time. Shit, they was paid before time. Okay. That's a great feeling too, to feel like you can pay your bills before they do. You know, like that's real talk. You know, who gets to do that? You know, you bill due on the first, you might pay it on the third or the fifth, or you pay it late. But to be due on the first and you paying it on the 15th of the month before, man, all of that was a great feeling. That was probably, I honestly can say, one of the happiest times in my life. It was a gift and a curse, though, you know, because the world was shut down. You have money, you really can't spend, you really can't go nowhere. But it made me focus on my school harder because I wasn't in a relationship, and that's no negativity to my fiance.
Mhm.
I do that all the time. You know, sometimes, you know, you could be a distraction because I love her so much. I always want her with me wherever I go. But there's times when it could be, you know, like a distraction for me because I'm so focused on her. And that's one thing about me. Whenever I'm in a relationship, I'm always focused on who I'm with. Sometimes that could be a bad thing, you know, but I started to get the school together, had the barbershop. I'm in the same building that the barbershop was in. The barbershop was suite 100 and the school is suite 400. So I just looked at it and I was like the Jeffersons. I just moved on up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the same building. I went from 1,500 square feet of a barbershop to 2,500 square feet of my barber school. Unfortunately, I'm not there right now. I'm actually at home. I would have loved to show you guys how the school looks. You know, maybe that's a video or something we could come up with.
Yeah,
But
I'm on Instagram. Tell me your Instagram too, Ro.
my Instagram is the_executive barber. That's my personal Instagram. Well, my business Instagram. My personal Instagram is Ro Did This, RODIDDIS. That is also my barber app. I created it. It's like when somebody say, "Who cut your hair?" Ro Did This. That's how I did come up with the name. And the school information is Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts on Instagram, and Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts.com on the website. I pretty much worked my way up to that, and I actually opened the school in 2021. I opened on May 4th, and this is funny. I opened on May 4th on the 4th floor with 4 students. And those students are graduated now. I love them to death. They love me to death. They still talk to me. One of them started his own barbershop after. First time ever that I could say that a person could do that. But he was actually working in a barbershop before he started coming to school. He opened up his own barbershop after finishing school. I've been open for 3 years with my school. I've had a total of 18 students in the 3 years, with 4 of them not finishing, one of them being expelled, because you do go through issues with students. They think they know more than you. And then you're dealing with a new generation. You're dealing with Gen X. Is it Gen X?
I guess
Gen Z, and I'm Gen X. So it's Gen Y and Gen Z. You're dealing with a different type of crowd of students. You know, they think they know everything. They lazy. They want everything microwavable. They want to be able to put the barber book in the microwave and boom, it just busts out with everything for them, and they're in the barbershop tomorrow. It don't work that way. You know, some of them get besides themselves. I hate that I'm all I have. You know, it's really hard. I am everything that I have at the school. I'm the janitor. I'm the the president, the CEO, the barber instructor, the counselor, anything you could think of, I'm that. So if any of you are thinking about opening your own barber school or you have your own barber school, I'm sure we all can contest to that. Don't be afraid to, reach out to people and say things, like, talk about what you're going through and, because we all going through it. Going to the NACS classes that I go through, I meet many of people who talk about these same issues. And it doesn't matter your gender, it does not matter your color, your sexual orientation, none of that matters. The fact that I am who I am, it does not change the fact that I don't go through the same issues that regular people, so they say. They call me A, B, C, D, E, F, G people. But hey, call me what you want. We all go through the same thing because we're all human, I believe that no matter who you are, if this is something you really want to do, male or female, you can do it. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of time, depending on what you're looking for. I'm a person that like nice stuff. So that $96,000, I'll tell you, I started with, I opened my school with that. And just that, all the other part is still trying to make it through, even after that 96,000. Because if you go through NACS, just getting accredited might cost you $15,000 or more, And then of course, if you got chin in your chin, I didn't work with Chin as far as what Chin has to offer for being able to pay him monthly or whatever, what you have going on now. I pretty much did everything on my own, and I'm still doing it with him. That's not for everybody though. Only some people could do that.
How was the inspection? Like getting ready for that as far as the paperwork? Because I mean, we was on Instagram Live, and I think what about the documents and paperwork? Can you tell me a little bit about that, getting ready?
Okay, so Millionaire Myers came out. She's accreditation. I don't want to say accreditation specialist, but she's accreditation top over accreditation. And she came out, she came on Halloween Day, like what was 2 weeks ago. She came out and had me nervous as hell, but it's crazy because I've met her before, talked to her before, everything. She came out, and when they come out and do their evaluation, again, guys, I work for NACS, or work with NACS, I should say. And I know some of the things that they do. So you might see me come to your school one day. This was just my first time because I've never been through the accreditation process myself. I've always been the person to go to schools through the accreditation process. And when she came, I was grateful to know that the things that I had wrong were really minute. They were so small, it's like cut and paste. The things that I had wrong were things like, in my enrollment agreement, it might state that if a student goes to school beyond their maximum time frame, which my maximum time frame is 2,250 in hours, 2,250 hours. Well, of course, the program in New Orleans, Louisiana, is a 1,500-hour program for barbering. If the student goes beyond the 2,250, in my enrollment agreement, I stated that the student had to pay $250 a week to finish the program until they, got all of their hours. But in my catalog, it says $275. That's how simple that was. It's a lot of things that I have inconsistent, not purposely, just being my first time. Again, it's different when you're in the seat and someone's evaluating you versus you evaluating someone. When you're evaluating someone, you just have this like, let's get it. But when you're being evaluated, you're nervous. You're like, oh shoot, I hope I have this right. And those were the things that I had wrong, inconsistent things. Like, one was that. Another thing was, I have the paper right here. Another thing was The website, something as simple as the website. On the website, inconsistent. I might have barbering on the website, and on the actual enrollment agreement, it might say barber. You have to have those programs stating the same thing, because everybody don't look at things the same way. Another thing I had in the catalog, it might have said, I'll read it to you. It said, the catalog referred to the institution in various places as WABA. This is not the official school name, nor is it an approved alternate name. Should the institution wish to refer to the institution as WABA, which means Washington Academy of Barbering Arts, in the school catalog, the institution must place a statement such as Washington Academy of Barbering Arts will furthermore be known as WABA. So I have to state that, because just because I'm saying WABA, the student may not know that, the instructor may not know that. So it was simple things like that I'm grateful for. I'm in candidate status, and I learned this was something else that I didn't know, that when you are in candidate status, right? Now I'm on to the next level. So in the steps of accreditation, I think it's 10 steps. I think I'm on number 8. And in number 8, we're ready to move forward with my financials. That's what you and I were talking about, Shane. We was talking about the financials, having the financials, what you need, and where you gotta go to get those financials. Well, how the financials work. When you do your financials, right? When you first get your accreditation letter for candidate status, I got mine, and it's funny because here this date go again. I got my candidate status May 3rd, 2023. I'm sorry, May 4th, 2023. You hear that? May 4th again, right? May 4th is something serious for me. May 4th, 2023. You have 2 years to be in candidate status. So as of May 3rd, 2025, that's my deadline to be out of candidate status. However, because NACAS came to me October 31st, if I wanted to submit my financials November 1st, then I have to November 1st, 2025. So you have a year. So I will cut off that time all the way to May. So right now I have my CPA working on everything that I need for my financials. And she just reached out to NACAS, Stephen Goldstein. Stephen Goldstein is the financial analysis or financial advisor for NACAS. You could submit your financials to him, and they would actually tell you if they're right or wrong before you even have to submit them. They'll tell you, okay, this will work, which helps, because I want y'all to know, if y'all don't know, an audit where I am now can be from $5,000 to $10,000 just to be audited. That's a lot of money. Not mentioning the $1,940 that you have to pay every year, yearly, for your sustaining fees. Listen, this takes a lot. Takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time. But I want you to know, because I'm doing it all myself, I'm proud of myself. When I say did it all myself, Shen, you know how much work that is. You know how much work that is. From the time I opened my school, May 4th of 2021, I have been working on that paperwork by myself. It took me 10 months by myself to do all this paperwork. But I will tell you, it has taught me so much about my business. It has put me in a place that I've never could imagine, because I've always only owned barbershops. And they were easy. It's easy for you to do your finances for that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's self-employed. All you're doing is getting a boot rent from them and maybe giving them a 1099 at the end of the year, helping them with their boot rent that they pay you so they could do on their taxes. That was simple. But this involves employees. I don't have an employee. I'm a only employee. And to be honest with y'all, I told you when I first started, I'm an open book. I don't pay myself because the school not even making no money, okay? I still pump a lot of money that I make into the school. However, that doesn't count against me because it's still a part of the financial. I just make sure that when I pay anything dealing with the school, it comes out of the school account and it's accounted for.
Now, even when you was preparing the documents, I know you had reached out asking for some other documents. Did they email you the documents, the team that you needed when you was reaching out to me?
Yes, I will say that the team is awesome, from the beginning to end. Chin, I got you. You got me, I got you. Trust me. And I'm gonna say that to everybody that's in here. But they got 24 participants in here looking at me, talk to you. I will say this. Chin the truth, y'all. He will help you. He have a team to help you. Remember, I told y'all I bought this program in 2003 at $999, and this man's still helping me. You understand what I'm saying? You show me that you want to see us all win, and you the truth. I'm gonna give you that because you could have said, oh, well, look, you only paid $999. I'm not giving you the new blueprint. The blueprint is $5,000 right now, Ro. You need to pay $4,000 more. You didn't do that. And I tell that to anybody. I don't care if I called you and asked you, Shin, how much a pack of gum is where you live? You was answering that question. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for that. And real talk. I told my girl now, when my fiance, I tell her, man, Shin really helped me. And you did. Because I'm going to tell you, it's a lot. It is a lot. You heard me say it took me 10 months to do this paperwork. And I'm saying 10 months based on how long it took, but the hours, the understanding, the comprehending, the reading all of this all over again 2-3 times. Sometimes can't sleep. Sometimes go to sleep and dreaming about this paperwork that I'm doing this because it's so much. It is so much. And again, I will tell you, sometimes I feel like it's made for you to fail. I don't want to say that, but it's the truth. That's how I feel. I'm not saying that you have to feel that way, but I'm just feeling like for this long term, I've been doing this by myself. When I say by myself, I'm literally by myself. Like I don't have a team like you do. So there's times when I have to take a weekend and sacrifice that weekend. I want to go out this weekend, right? But I can't go out this weekend because I got paperwork to do, and to have a fiance that I had, she understood that. She felt like, you know what, babe? Look, if there's anything you need me to do, I got you. But at the same token, I never wanted to put that burden on her because she has her own job to deal with. We really have some plans for the school and plans to really venture off into a whole new life and a whole new world with it, and I really can't wait till time comes.
So now you have to submit the financials and then your initial accreditation application, the final application, but to get ready for your final visit. I think, hold on.
Oh,
Okay. So you working on the initial accreditation application, and then you gotta update the candidate documents what they came out, correct?
yes. So I have to submit the
Updated ISS, initial accreditation application?
yes, that ISS series. Jesus. But like I said, to a certain extent, the ISS is a good thing because it really gets you into knowing your business. I don't know nobody that wouldn't want to know their business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to a point where I was about to go on a TV show. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but it was a TV show that pretty much helped you build your business. And I was excited. I had to go to Oklahoma, do this interview, And it was like, you know what? I had to let it go because I had to focus on this more than trying to have someone help me with it. And again, it doesn't take anything from you. That's just the type of person I am. I want to learn more. I'm the type of person that, I need to know. Because as an owner, I need to know what I'm hiring people for. So when I get ready to hire that secretary, or when I get ready to hire that person that's doing financial aid, I know their job description. I know what it is they need to do because I'm learning it. Before then, I didn't know none of that. I didn't know who was gonna be doing what. I'm still learning, you know, and it's like a relationship, you know what I'm saying? When you're in a relationship with somebody, you could be with them 35 years and still don't know them all the way. You still have to learn some things about them, and I'm still learning. And if anybody in this chat is trying to open up their own school or already opened up their own school, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself as well as your business. Or should I say as well as your company? Sound even better. But again, I'm in candidate status. I'm at the next level of accreditation. I already have the VA. That was another thing to get involved in. I tell you, that VA, the truth. That VA, man, I'm telling you, you get a student today
Mm.
and they fill out their paperwork, depending on what GI Bill they have. Shoot, I got a student right now. Them people pay me. That money looks so good in my account the next day. It's like, oh, can I get about 10, 15 more of these? That's the best thing right there, you know. And I'm gonna tell you something I did learn. Listen, y'all, I'm being truthful when I tell you this. Chin teach y'all a lot. He do. He show you a lot, teach you a lot. But they're gonna have people in this industry that ain't gonna want to tell you nothing because they're gonna be too busy worrying about you getting more than them. I don't want to share this with you. I don't want to share that with you because if I share it with you, you're gonna get it and I'm not gonna be able to get it. And I will say this: the guy, I'm gonna send a shout out to Dupree Barber College. I think he's in Mississippi. Kudos to you because he was the one that hit me up on DM to tell me about how to go through the VA. Nobody in New Orleans would even tell me that. That's just how we are as a culture. We so busy worrying about having more than me. Let me tell you that what has in store for you, you're gonna get regardless. I done been through a lot. I told y'all some of the stuff I've been through, but I've been through even more. You understand what I'm saying? I've been through stuff that could have took me down, but I ain't let it take me down. It just helped me get better. And I'm gonna keep getting better because I keep delivering, I keep giving. Just like Chin gave me, I'm giving y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? Anything you feel like you wanna ask me, I'm an open book. I told you that from when I started. I'm not one that worrying about who gonna have more than me. I told you I come from wealth. I know what it feel like. And I know what it feel like to be broke. And I say that because I come from two households. I come from a household that had, and I come from a household that didn't have. So I'm saying that to say, I know what it's like. You could put me in a room full of people with money, I'm gonna fit in. You could put me in a room full of people that's broke, I'm gonna fit in. Why? Because I come from it. And I ain't afraid to help nobody. I ain't afraid to give nobody. But people be afraid to give me. They're afraid to see me succeed. But my success has nothing to do with theirs.
Can we go to your page too? So, you talked about Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, you know, they're in the program too.
Mm-hmm. I know. He told me, we
Okay.
talked about you, Chin. You somebody, Chin. You somebody, real talk. And you help. That's what I'm saying. You know, you help a lot of people. I mean, the blueprint that you give, like I said, to some people that might be very expensive, but do you realize what you're getting out of it? I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad I got it at $9.99.
Well,
But hey, I've been wanting it that long ago.
now when you're needing paperwork or whatever, how did it feel to just reach out and then you get an email with everything, whatever you needed? How does that feel?
And I told my girl about you. I said, hey, I hit Chin up and he said, oh, just hit the team up. They get you whatever you need. Like to have that type of support. You know, you used to going online and if you got, I got my phone company is Verizon Wireless, right? I go online and I can chat with them. You got to go through so much chat box. Then you got to say, okay, well, I need to talk to customer service. But guess what? I hit Chin up and I'm talking to Chin, customer service, the team. He said, whatever you need, et cetera, et cetera. And guess what? About 5 minutes later, it was in my email. So kudos to you, Chin. Because you like, do you sleep? It's like you're there at the drop of a pen, you know? And you have always been. I mean, like I said, you could have said, well, you know, you bought my program years ago. I'm not going to give you what I'm giving today for the price that you paid yesterday. But you didn't. You still left. And I appreciate you for that. I know Dupree in it. We talked about it. He was telling me, him and I talked together. We talked about how you fill the page up. So that's the school page. So look, when you see this video right here, and you see that say cross-reference institutional refund policy, that right there is all of the paperwork you're gonna need to showcase all the forms that you have. Yes, all the forms you got to showcase to these people. Fanatics. Yeah, you thought this was easy? It ain't. Look, all them forms. So if you got your own school, yeah, you're gonna need to do that kind of stuff because they want to see that. They want to see the forms that you are giving your students. And they want to make sure you're in compliance. You're following the rules and regulations. You know.
Tell me where to stop. We're just gonna scroll and you just tell me.
Go ahead. Keep going. So I take pictures of the students that's finished. Again, those are 3 students. Those were my first 3 night students. The 3 pictures that you see right now of the students with the guy with the purple shirt, guy with the white shirt. Yeah. These were my first 3 night students. And I'm telling y'all, listen, I worked, and that's my CPA where it says a cut above. These 3 students was my first night students. Listen to me. I went to school and taught from 8 in the morning to 10 at night for my own school. And I want y'all to know I didn't get paid for that because the students together, we just made ends meet to make sure we could pay the bills to be able to keep this thing going. But there are many times where I had to take my own money, and I'm still doing it to keep this together.
You got a very nice school. It wasn't like my first school. Your school looks.
Well, I told you I started with 96,000. So hey, I started with a nice amount to be able to put that together. And those barber stations, I got from a lady who had a school in Mississippi. She closed down. She never got accredited, never got candidates never even got as far as I've gotten. And she had it on Facebook where she was Facebook Marketplace. And one of my good friends said, aren't you opening school? In fact, let me tell you this. This location was a homeschool for my friend who I went to school with. She had it as a homeschool. I changed it all the way around because the floors are new, the paint is new, everything is new in there. But she had it as a school. And she said, there's this lady that's selling some stations from a barber school on Facebook. You should try her out. See if you could buy those stations. That haircut that said 20 free haircuts. They had the little with the orange. That's one of my haircuts. I try to put the students on to, you know, teach them how to do designs. I'm always work giving, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Designs is not in our curriculum. You don't have to teach that. But for those students that want to learn that, I help, you know, hey, I give it to them. I've been cutting y'all going on 30 years. I have been cutting hair. And picture you see, which is actually a video of me with 2 students on the side of me and 2 on the other side. That's actually a video. That's a commercial.
Washington, CEO of Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts. Thank
TV.
you, barbering. You'd be amazed. Anatomy and physiology, electricity, bacteriology, the scalp and skin disorders. And we definitely learn about the business of barbering. When they leave here, one of the biggest things I'll say they have is life skill. Barbering is one of the oldest professions in the world. It's a career, and no one can take it away from you. Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts. We transform lives one cut at a time.
Very professional.
Yes, I try to be. But at the same token, if you go underneath, right there under the sign that said now enrolling, That might
Mhm.
not be so professional, but it was really
When
funny.
you start a barber school with disruptive students.
For the last time, I'm gonna ask you, please stop playing your phone in the class.
I'm sorry. You continue.
Thank you.
Say, bro, anybody ever told you look like Lil Real the actor? Never mind, no.
All right.
Oh, what's down, bitch? What the fuck? What's down, y'all? How you doing, Sam?
Sam, sir, my name isn't Sam.
Well, I ain't know whether to say sir or ma'am, so I can kind of put them together. What Sam knew?
Well, I'm gonna let you guys finish studying for this test and I'll be with you in the show.
All right, what's the yes? Yes, nigga, what you got going on? Nigga, I'm at barber school. I'm trying to be a barber, man. That's where my passion at, bro.
All this work we got in the street, you trying to be a boss.
Man, nigga, yeah, man, you should try too, nigga.
For what? There ain't no money for this shit. This shit look fancy, but ain't no money for this.
It is fancy, and look, it don't matter, bro. They got like a funding program where they help out people with low income and stuff. And how you don't got no money, bro? You had me robbing all the people with you last week, man.
I'm about to cop some giraffes early.
What the fuck, Jarrell? For what?
Bitch, you ain't see boots on IG talking about you need some giraffes. Bitch, once I get them, you already know I'm taxing, homie.
Man, you tripping, man.
Plus, I'm a convicted felon.
Nigga, that don't matter either, bro. I already knew that, man. They don't discriminate. They do convicted felons if you are or not, bro. They gonna let you in. As long as they get you to go to school and they gonna make you a barber at the end of the day.
I
Man,
mean,
you tripping, bro.
I can't cut you, hear me?
Damn, you can't?
Yeah, bitch, you cut a nigga like short. You remember I cut ties with all the fuck shit. I cut top.
Speaking of cut, man, you need to cut them big ass jeans.
Okay,
My
bitch.
fault, my fault.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's roll. Hey, look, teacher. I don't want to bother you, but look, I really came here to check him out.
Well, check me out, where I'm a grown ass man. You don't need to check me out. What are you talking about, son?
Come on, it's an emergency.
Mama, what happened, bro?
Come on, sir.
I need you guys to step on it.
Oh, we stepping up.
What happened?
Anyway, look, first nigga you need to cut is the nigga that was sitting in front of you. We got a bush, man. We fade and a bush.
The fuck you tell me? Fuck all that, man. What happened to my grandma, man?
She good. She good.
She good.
Grandma, bitch, I just need your help. Chill.
Help with what?
But you ain't seen no claws outside? Bitch, I normally take one, but now we could take two.
You call me out to play Grand Theft Auto, man. You tripping, bro? Son, what
You
you
might want her to leave.
Why?
Come on. Get that on the chain. Bring that to Johnny Dane. Put it on the chain. You know the inspiration for the street.
Speaking of, dang, you got a shit
I got him in this bitch.
man.
When you
So yeah, that video right there is, I made that video because of course I told you all I was a convicted felon. And when I first opened the school, I was trying to open it under a nonprofit organization, which was very, very hard to do. So I had to really take it from under nonprofit organization where it was once called the Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts. And then I took it from under that name and that pillar, and I had to make it a private school. And that's where the $96,000 came in part, where I had to put my own money into it and pretty much start from there. So my school is really nice. To say it's the first time. Like I said, it's 2,500 square feet. When you look at those pictures, that picture right there, I believe in giving back. Again, I come from a wealthy family, so I believe in giving back. We went to one of the community programs where this community center had just opened, and they do, pharmaceutical things, pharmacists, they give shots, things like that. So what they did was they had a community event where they invited us to come out and cut hair, and we did it for free. We will go anywhere. And to this day, we still do that. In my program, the students have to have 200 haircuts each to complete the program. And I feel that way because where I come from, again, I come from Stevenson, and being an instructor at Delgado, to be honest with you, these were schools that did not have a lot of walk-ins for haircuts. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, as a school owner, if you are a school owner, that is one thing that students complain about. That was one thing I complained about as a student. I did not get a lot of haircuts, and they feel like when they leave your school as a barber, how the hell I don't know how to cut hair when I'm a barber? And they sometimes veer off and feel like, man, I don't know how to cut no hair, so they don't want to go work in the barbershop. So I make sure of that. I make sure that they get that opportunity. 200 haircuts. I told y'all I had 18 students. All right. 4 didn't complete, but those other 14, with the exception of the 3 that I have in school now, they getting those 200 haircuts. I started at $7 a haircut. Now we're at 15. I want you to know that that money really helps as a school because you got to get that money from somewhere. You have to get it from somewhere. I mean, I'm still punching my own money in there that I make on a daily. You know, I still put that in there. And these are some keep going up. Chin is gonna kind of show you. That's where I started. You see that? That's what the place looked like when I first started. So I did a lot to create this. And that's my office right there. That's the office that you saw me painting the wall. I can do a lot with these hands. I get it fooled. I do a lot. And I love it. My girl tell me all the time, you are so talented. Like, I take a painting and make something out of it. I put a little mud on it that you put on sheetrock and create something. And so this was when I first started. This was, you see this that picture at the bottom. This was all the stuff I bought and I had to put it in storage. So that's all the chairs as far as the student chairs. That's me with the keys to both sides of the
Storage.
yeah. And I mean, I had, when I say I did all of this by myself, I did, but I did have help physically. You know, I had guys that helped me, my clients, you know, everybody, the good people that I fool with really want to see me win. And I believe in reform because, again, I went to jail just like yourself. So we both know how that goes. You know, it changes your life. You know, people look at you differently. They feel like because you went to jail, you know, just this person that's like, oh, I don't know, you know. So this was them putting the floors down. This was me doing the gray. This room right here that you're looking at was actually a room that went to a whole nother side of that space. I cut that off because I only needed 2,500 square feet. Right now, that room, in fact, go down, Chin, that room that you just looked at is that room right there, yes. They closed that off. They closed that whole portion off. I think the school was like 3,500 square feet at first. Then I cut it down to 2,500 square feet. And this right here is the very first room you seen when the room was red with the Washington Academy. And guess what, y'all? I painted that wall. I put that wall up, go back up, go all the way back up to the top. That wall right there, stop. That red, down right there, that's that wall. I painted that. I put that up, everything. When I say everything, the only thing that I can say guys did help me with was like bringing the furniture in. And these are my good friends. But everything from the decorations to the planning, I ain't have no blueprint to plan it out. I just went with it. I can do that. I love to decorate. My house is nicely decorated, you know, so I'm with that, you know. And if anybody have any questions about anything that I've done, but where it say right there, the journey, that was just one day when I just stood up and just looked around and said, look what I've accomplished. You know, it's a lot. And I kid you not, being a woman doing this type of thing by yourself is like heart, you know, it could be heart throbbing. I want you to go to the picture next to it. No, yeah.
Here?
Yes. Now, when you take a look at all of that, those both are the barbershops that I had. The one that I had with my partner that was Roger's at the top, that I had during the BP oil spill and when we first opened. The second one is when I left the one at the top and moved to the second one. And then of course the third is when I opened the school in 2021. So the shop at the top reflects
10.
Yeah, we'll say that, 2010, after Katrina. So Katrina was 2005, so we're gonna say 2007. 2007 at the top, 2015 in the middle, in 2021, and all of them are nice. I like nice stuff. Always did, always will. Like I said, I come from wealth, and I know how to have nice stuff. And I'm not bragging on it. It's just a blessing. And, you know, again, that's the front door. It wasn't easy, y'all. It was not easy. Still ain't easy. I just can't wait till I get accredited. And just for those of you who thinking about opening your own school, just know that once you get accredited, that's not the end of the road. You still got to go through the Department of Education to actually get the financial aid, which could take you a whole nother year, depending on how fast NACAS comes out. And right now, again, I work for NACAS. NACAS is at a 6-month, they behind 6 months to come to your school for accreditation, because they're trying to get people like myself to come out and go to your school and do the evaluation. And then they have to go off of the evaluation based on those people who can actually go out. So you're looking at the school itself. So look, we got the video where you can actually see the school without me actually being there. We still like that to this day. A lot of this video, guess who did it? Me. I'm telling you, I did everything. This video, I have so many gadgets. It's ridiculous. So you see this thing on the wall right here? That's the brain of the school. That's where all of the everything for the school, the Wi-Fi, the radio, because we have surround sound in the school. I keep the radio on all day because I mean, you know, we work good when we, you know, when we're working with music, you know. Listen, y'all, I did everything. No, 2,500 square feet. Miss Thomas, no, not 1,500, that's 2,500. Where did I get the classroom chair? Hi, funny you ask. Tulane. Tulane is a college, a university here in New Orleans. And when I was doing it under the profit sector, they decided that they wanted to donate to me those chairs. So I didn't have to pay for those chairs, because as schools evolve, right, things change and they get rid of the old stuff. They even gave me computers. I think they gave me like 6, 7 computers. They didn't really work because they outdated. So I'm in the process of getting new computers. Thank you, I appreciate that. Where you say it says today's production. Channel 26, one of the news stations here, came out and interviewed us. And when they came and interviewed us, they did this interview and they played it on TV. There was many a times the commercial that you saw got played during football games. That cost me a hell of a lot of money. But it was a way, because you know that who's looking at football games most? Men, right? Who's getting haircuts mostly? Men. So I had to put that money out there. It might have cost me $5,000 to play that commercial during a football game. That's the commercial right there. That's one of them.
Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts. If you're looking for a new profession, or a veteran or former felon needing a career, we give you the skills you need for financial stability and community engagement. Call the Washington Academy today.
That's a 15-second commercial, right? That cost me about $5,000 just to have it played during the halftime show or something during a football game or basketball game or whatever it was I did at that time. But I love what I do. I don't do it for the money. I just can't wait till I get to where I need to be. My students love me. I kid you not, with the exception of the one I had to put out, one that felt privileged, you know, unfortunately. Play that video right there with the guy. That was another funny one.
I'm gonna take care of him. What's up?
What's that? Where you going at?
Man, what's up with you? Where you been at? Man, you tripping? I'm about to go to Washington Academy of Barbering and Arts. My nephew and them, man, I'm about to buy a few of licenses. You know, I got a few dollars. You know, when people get in trouble, you got to put that money up behind them. You got to put that money behind them. I'm trying to put that money behind them. Yeah. What's up, Rose? What's up? How you doing? I talked to you on the phone. I'm jambalaya, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is nice. This is I like this. My nephew's gonna like this. So let break it off. I need something.
What you need?
I need 3 of these. 3 of them. I took it off my brother wall at his barbershop. He don't really know how to cut hair, so he don't need to use it. I need you the licenses. You sell barber licenses? Ain't your barber school, right?
Yeah.
Like, you sure you don't sell barber licenses? You sure you don't sell barber licenses?
You have all the money you want.
You sure? You sure? 'Cause I can buy it one license.
That's how you feel?
That's 2 licenses. Do I get 3 licenses? I can make 4 licenses. I only got 2 nephews, but I'm paying for 4 licenses.
If you choose to take this money, put it together, and come over here and get you some education over here, then we can roll.
This is not for me. I don't cut hair.
Yeah, but at the same token.
I cut people if they play with me.
Yeah, but at the same token, you wanna buy licenses, we don't buy licenses here.
They not.
Are you gonna make it rain? Take it back.
I like how you do that. We gotta go to the club together. They keep getting in trouble.
Let me stop you right here.
Listen, it's my nephews. They keep getting in trouble. They got felons. I think one of them got a belling. He got a beat. He ain't got a F. That's how bad he is. They just got some stimulus money. They always got their little stimulus money, and they need something to do, bro. My auntie keep calling me. You feel me? They're not gonna kill my sister.
Let me stop you right. This is a $1,500 program. Costs $6,000.
Calling me out because I'm my money long as my money long as I attend.
We don't.
All right.
We don't sell licenses here. You have to go to school and get your education, your barber education. Dude, you still count money. This is what you need, dude. I don't need your money. You can have it.
I can't really read, but I can tell them though.
Well, you're gonna have to know how to read and write when you come.
Well, they know how to read and write good. They not bad kids. Just I have a problem with my eyes. They small, so I can't see big words.
You're not the actual, you're not a copy.
All right, yeah, because
You need the
they're
social.
not gonna let me take
security
them
card.
because the last time I took their birth certificates and social security cards, I had filed my taxes and put them on them. And my auntie husband, he and him had a fight, and I won't keep going through that. You feel me? So all everything that's highlighted, I'm gonna. All right. Thank you. All right.
So I did some of those because these are popular people in New Orleans and they have a, page with a lot of followers. So they would come in. He might have charged me $1,200 to do that. The other funny one, he might have charged me $1,500. And those are things just to get people to come to my page, the school page more. But again, you have to do so many different things to make this work. And I'm just here to share. Go down to this one in the middle, this video right here. And I want y'all to know all these videos, with the exception of those. No, go down one more. That one right there. All these videos I did myself. I told you I got so many gadgets. I done bought so many things to create all of this. Because sometimes it gets pricey trying to have somebody come out and actually do a video. So I bought a drone myself. I had to learn how to work that drone. I bought a drone and I did this video right here, and
Steady, are you ready?
that's the one that you saw that you came in, you see everything. I did all that. So I did that with a drone. I did it with a I forgot what you call the little thing, like a handheld calibrator, I think it is.
What's going down? However do you want me?
And I had to buy a program on my computer. Might have cost me $200. I still have it, but hey, you still could do all of this. And you see DP College at the bottom of this one. Shout out to him, real talk. Because he was the one to help me with the VA. Got the people to come to me, and I got VA now benefits. VA benefits is good for anybody that has a school to have,
What's going on?
because that's that money in there. And the student that I told you right there, sitting next to, he was the one who got his barbershop straight out of school.
He's tall too.
No, not him, the short one, the one that was
Oh,
sitting
short
here.
one?
The tall one was one who didn't complete.
Oh,
He lost his brother. He was going through life situations like we all do, and it kind of like hindered him from finishing school. But yeah, and right here, make this last video. This was the actual video footage.
here?
No, the blue to the right. That was the actual video footage on TV.
After a stint in prison faces a frustrating and difficult search. But former inmates need jobs to get back into society. Moving New Orleans Forward anchor LBJ shows you how a local woman is meeting that need.
The traditional colors in the lobby are the first tip-off, but the barber's pole is a dead giveaway.
Hold on. Let's get back.
Y'all have any questions up in here? I see Sandra say that was wild and it's incredible. I appreciate that. Barnes say, love your setup. I appreciate that. Thomas says nice. It really is. Thank you. It's a lot, y'all. So if you getting your own school prepared, I'm gonna say go with it.
All walks of life. However, I am catering mostly to those who were once incarcerated.
The price, $11,365.
Face in trying to seek a job.
Washington Academy opened a few months ago, and Leo Martinez is in its first class, and he's already inspired to follow his dream.
Goal is to one day own my own school and barbershop.
He's the one who opened his own barbershop.
1,500 hours or
I
approximately
painted that wall.
combination of classroom and time with customers in a chair.
We learn about anatomy and physiology. We learn about electricity. We're like nurses, doctors. We learn about the skin and scalp.
What the students at Washington are receiving are skills that enable them to give to their future customers.
I love career, find enjoyment, transforming a person, giving them confidence.
Rebecca Washington stated that she was once incarcerated, but she also got help from her father getting through those years. Founding the Academy has helped her give back to others that don't have that type of support.
I do know that a lot of families don't have a father, and we have broken homes, and those were things that I felt like kind of keeps people from pursuing their goals. Well, you can find more information about that program in LBJ's story on our website, WGNO.com. And next,
So I got a lot. And then the one right here to the left. One more right there. Hit that one.
I've been in New Orleans East since I was 13 years old. I don't look like what I've been through. I had gotten into trouble at some point that kind of led me to becoming a barber. As I got older and I pretty much came out the closet to my parents, they put me out. And so I moved with these people who was a friend of one of my cousins. He told me he wanted me to bring him somewhere that night to Taco Bell. I pulled up to the drive-thru. He said, I got something to tell you. I'm about to rob this joint. And he pulled out a gun underneath the seat. He did just what he said. He robbed him through the drive-thru window. He shot the girl in her face and stole her car and beat me to the house. I was facing armed robbery. Some people don't get that second chance. And I believe that my school is a part of giving second chances. I love what I do, and I believe in sharing the wealth. I believe that me teaching students, they see my craft. They definitely see she knows what she's doing. Sometimes people come in just to get a haircut, to just feel good about themselves. It's a great feeling for me to be able to change their life and their perception of themselves. Coming up in the barbering game, it's a male-dominated industry. People would pass me up because they felt like, she a woman, she don't know what she's doing. I'm a female that can stand on the side of a guy and say, what you do, I can do better. I would say I'm one of the greatest barbers in New Orleans. Here I am today, 27 years later, still cutting hair.
And that's pretty much the same story I told y'all in the
I've
beginning.
been in New Orleans East since I
And we could go on and on. Chin, you know what? I know you gotta. I'm at a point where, hey, like I said, I'm an open book. If y'all have any questions, I'm here to answer them. I appreciate you, Chin, for this moment. Give me the opportunity to share my craft, share my school, share my story. And if ever you need me to share it again, I can say it again and again and again, because I love this type of stuff, you know? I appreciate helping anybody, because I've received help. You were one of the people that helped me, and I want to say thank you.
Well, I thank you for coming on, Ro. We always end with our theme song or hype song. So what's your hype song or theme song?
Oh, what's my